The Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com, as always, presented by Heidemann Associates. I'm Alex Napolis. We're here at Zions Bank Stadium for the second 6A semifinal matchup of the day. And it's going to be the Lone Peak Knights, the number 2 in the RPI, taking on the number 6, the Layton Lancers. American Fork waits arrival as the American Fork has the pass to the championship match, and so we'll see which one of these two teams will be taking on the American Fork Cave women on Friday. Getting ready to start things here at Zions Bank, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 80 minutes of the beautiful game in this 6A semifinal matchup between the Knights and the Lancers. It's going to be the Lancers in the white shooting to the right of your screen to start in the first half. It's going to be the Lone Peak Knights in the black shooting to the left. And we are underway once more in the 6A semifinals. Lancers get us started. And they'll be looking to possess the ball here early with Amelia Smith over on that far sideline. Goes out of bounds and out for a Lancer throw. It's going to be Cudson on the far side to take. Lone Peak coming across defensively to clear it out. Another throw in coming up for Layton. Quincy Cudson once again on the far side. We'll throw it in. Looking for Smith. And cleared out by the Knights. Kate Denny coming down to track that one. And it'll go wide. No one there as the Lancers intercept and trying to win the ball back in the middle of the park. Here comes Bella Devi, who will settle it, and it's now Tanuvasa on the ball. Tanuvasa with a nice ball up the pitch. Samantha Sellers now with an opportunity for Lone Peak, as Sellers looks to get around her defender. That's Hunsaker on the defensive effort. Tanuvasa doesn't get the best of shots on the ball, but an early opportunity for the Lone Peak Knights. That'll just go on the other side of the bar. Tanuvasa a little off balance on the shot, and unfortunately couldn't put it on frame. Brought down by the Knights. Lone Peak trying to hit on the attack again. Devi putting it up over the top. Looking in the direction of Fuller. Layton win the ball back, and the referee goes down, but play on. Ball goes out of bounds and out for a Lone Peak throw-in. To Denny. Kate Denny now with an opportunity at the edge of the box. Cuts back inside. Denny looking for support. Layton coming up defensively. Still Lone Peak on the attack. As that ball goes wide to Devi. Devi now filtered through near the edge of the box. Across the face of goal and off her line is Savannah Putman. And will collect for Layton as they look to relieve some of that pressure. Let's take a look at these two teams. And the matchup today, it's the designated visitors, Layton Lancers, coming in at the 6 in the RPI. They're 11-6 overall. They finished in second place in Region 1 with a 6-4 record. 36 goals scored up to this season and 22 conceded up to this point. These two teams played each other earlier in the season. It was about the second week where the Lone Peak Knights defeated Layton 4-0 in a non-region preseason match. Here comes the Lancers with the shot. That was Clappier with an opportunity. And Eliza Collings makes the save. Layton have been running the table as the 6th seed. They beat Syracuse in the second round of the playoffs 1-0. And in the last round in the quarterfinals, they ended Copper Hills' historic season by a score of 2-1. And now here they are at Zions Bank with an opportunity to play for a spot in the state championship match on Friday. Layton, who has 2 state championships under the belt, but it's been a while since they have been able to take the crown. The last one coming in 1992 for the Lancers. Here as Layton trying to play it up to Smith. Nicely covered by Ruby Lee, and it'll go into the hands of Eliza Collings, as the Knights will now look to play it out. Nice ball from Collings. And nice defensive coverage from Molly Hunsaker as that ball goes out of bounds and out for a Knights throw-in. Here comes the cross from Sellers. And Devi will track it down. Or excuse me, Denny will track it down. Now it's Devi. Devi with an opportunity. The shot saved by Putman. And Layton will now try to look to relieve some of that pressure for the Lone Peak Knights. They come to this one as the number 2 seed in the RPI, 18-1 overall, 10-0 at the top of Region 3. They have scored 84 goals so far this season and have only conceded 8. Eliza Collings has a state-leading 14 shutouts on the season. And the Knights have only conceded 8 goals throughout the course of the 2023-24 season. Their one loss, as that ball's floated over the top and into the hands of Putman. The Knights' one loss on the season comes to Coronado of Nevada. They haven't lost to an opponent in state this year. Their one loss coming out of state to Coronado in Nevada. As mentioned earlier, these two teams played each other earlier in the season. Lone Peak won that one 4-0. And the Knights have done well in the tournament. They beat Salt Lake Academy 5-0 in the second round. In the quarterfinals, they were able to beat Farmington in a little bit of a rematch of last year's semifinals. This time beating Farmington 3-0 and eliminating the Phoenix. The Knights looking for an opportunity to play for another state championship. They only have one under their belt, the last one coming in 2018. Here come the Lancers. That ball out wide. And a big defensive effort from Lone Peak to cut that one out. The Lancers trying to maintain possession. That ball up the pitch to Holgi. Smith bringing it down. Was looking in the direction of Jersey Clapier. And now it's a foot race as Kate Denny wins it high up the pitch. Denny to Sellers. Samantha Sellers with an opportunity at the edge of the box. The cross in, and Savannah Putman once again coming up big for Layton. Cutting out that cross and making sure nothing going there for Lone Peak. Here come the Knights once again in possession. That ball out wide to Hendricks. Hendricks looking to pull one through to Fuller. Kate Fuller now with an opportunity on this far sideline. Out of bounds, Lone Peak throw. Throw-in coming up once again for the Knights. 31-52, so far tied at 0-0, but Lone Peak has had some good opportunities. Here comes Devi. Out once again for another Knight throw. Fuller out wide, looking for Devi once again. And can't get on the end of it. Out for the Lancer goal kick. It's going to be Savannah Putman, the senior goalkeeper, to play it out. Kate Denny does a good job to win it back, and then it'll trickle back as Layton trying to clear their lines. And out for another goal kick. Savannah Putman will now play it out for Layton. And one back by Tanuvasa in the middle of the park for the Knights. Devi trying to win it out. It looked like that was Kaylee Wilson who got a boot on it to get it out of Devi's path. And now Kate Fuller on the far side trying to turn. Or excuse me, that's Brooke Hendricks trying to turn. One back by Layton. Here is Wilson in the middle of the park, losing it out. Tanuvasa, or excuse me, that's Devi with an opportunity. Devi will take a shot. Was trying to pick off that bottom corner, but unfortunately can't put it on frame, and Savannah Putman will now have a goal kick. Keeping it close as Layton trying to play it out. Lone Peak throwing. That is intercepted by Cudson. Smith now in possession for Layton, trying to play one through to Clapier, but it'll just roll safely back into the hands of Eliza Collings. Collings will now boot it up and out. Wilson trying to bring it down in the middle of the park, takes a step, and it's now Hendricks on the far side looking to float one in, and Putman off her line. We'll collect for Layton. Players to watch for this afternoon. For the designated visitors, Layton, number 9, Jess Jersey Clapier, who has 10 goals and 2 assists on the season, is the leading goal scorer for the Layton Lancers. Number 4, Amelia Smith, who has 9 goals and 2 assists so far on the season. And number 16, Holgi, who has 5 goals and 10 assists for the Layton Lancers. Those are the players to watch. And for the players to watch on the Knights side, number 13, Brooke Hendricks, who has 17 goals and 9 assists so far this season for Lone Peak. Samantha Sellers, who has 13 goals and 13 assists, one of the top contributors on this attack for Lone Peak. And number 20, Kate Fuller, who has 10 goals and 9 assists. Those are the players to watch for the Lone Peak Knights, as Sellers trying to win that one, trying to save it from going out of bounds. Layton throwing. Coming up here on the near side is Molly Hunsaker to throw it in. Clapier gets ahead on it. Smith can't keep possession, and that ball cleared out by Smith. Denny chasing it down. Putman off her line. Kate Denny gets a foot on it. And the junior shows her speed on display there as Kate Denny trying to get a boot on it to put it over. Putman coming off her line, but it goes out of bounds and out. Dangerous goal kick here. It lands at the feet of Kristen Moss. And that one goes out of bounds. Moss now with a throw-in. Clapier brings it down. That ball filtered through, looking for Samantha Sellers. McBride covers and into the hands of Putman. And now Putman will punt it out. Tanuvasa gets ahead on it. And it'll go out of bounds and out for a Layton Lancer throw-in high up the pitch. Good opportunity here to get something going on the attacking third for the Lancers. It's going to be Molly Hunsaker who comes here on the near side to take for Layton. Ball floated in. Tanuvasa gets ahead on it. And Tanuvasa will clear it out once again. Throw-in coming up again for Layton. Molly Hunsaker again here on the near side to take. And it's going to be Smith to clear for Lone Peak. Looking in the direction of Denny. Denny lets it bounce. Trying to turn. McBride comes across to intercept. McBride looking to clear. And Devi gets a foot on it, but now Holgi with an opportunity. That ball filtered through, looking for Smith. Callings off her line and just boots it away. Nice ball filtered through to Amelia Smith. And unfortunately for Layton, Callings reads it well off her line and clears. Here come the Knights. Fuller looking for Hendricks. As that ball goes out of bounds and out for the Lancer throw. Substitution getting ready for the Knights as Tessa Carter getting ready to check in. Ball once again floated up. Hendricks lets it bounce. Hendricks gets a boot on it, looking for Denny. And Hendricks lets it bounce. And now here come the Lancers with Goddenridge as it's cleared out by a Lone Peak. Wilson will bring it down for the Lancers. That ball played through. Tanavasa in the middle of the park. Miscommunication as that ball is given away. And then one back by Lone Peak. Devi trying to turn. Nice little bit of skill there from Bella Devi. Callings off her line to clear. Lands at the feet of Holgi. And then Devi once again gets a boot on it. One back by Layton. Godderidge. Looking for support. It's now Cudson to Godderidge. Once again, the ball out wide. That ball floated over the top. McBride for the Lancers. Playing it up. Looking for Holgi in the middle of the park. Nice pass there from Holgi. And now intercepted by Devi in the middle of the park. Smith in possession for the Lone Peak Knights. Denny to Devi. Bella Devi with an opportunity for the Knights. Out wide to Sellers. Samantha Sellers taking it in the edge of the box. The cross across the face of goal. Fuller is there with the shot over the bar. Kate Fuller with an opportunity to put the Knights ahead. But unfortunately, that ball just floats barely over the crossbar. And out for a goal kick. Great opportunity for Lone Peak. 22:55 left to go here in the first half. Lone Peak has had a handful of opportunities. And now Smith in a foot race against Smith. As that one goes out of bounds and out for the corner kick. Lancer corner coming up, and a good set piece opportunity for the Lancers to try to get in front. Just a reminder that it's the American Fork Cave Women who wait an opponent. They booked their spot to the 6A state championship game after a 1-0 win. The cross into a box. Lancer still in possession. Here comes Holgi looking to cross it in once again. Smith is there. Amelia Smith looking to turn. Has to support herself. The shot and into the hands of Eliza Callings. And now Lone Peak looking to play on a quick counterattack. They have the speed for it. Here comes Devi. Looking to switch the play over out to Sellers. And Alexa Gorton came across well. And now McBride coming across to cover defensively for Layton. That ball goes out of bounds. Gorton to take the throw in for the Lancers. Denny gets ahead on it to Sellers. Sellers playing it through to Tessa Carter. Tanuvasa winning it back in the middle of the park. Tanuvasa playing it up to Fuller. Now it's Kate Fuller. And ball cleared out. Out wide for the Knights. Ball filtered through to Fuller. The shot and jukes wide. But it won't count because the offside flag is raised. Kate Fuller had an opportunity in behind that Lancer defense. And unfortunate, takes it first time, can't put it on frame. But regardless, the offside flag raised, and now a free kick for the Lancers as they look to relieve some of that pressure. Ball goes out, Lancer throw. And substitution coming up for Layton, as it looks like that's Kaylee Wilson who heads to the bench for a breather. Substitution for Lone Peak as well, as Brooklyn Dowdle checks in. Off comes Samantha Sellers.
Alexa Gordon.
Ball back in play for Layton. Amelia Smith comes across. Brooklyn Dowdle gets a foot on it, her first touch since checking in. A header out wide. Brooklyn Dowdle settles it for Denny. Denny loses out possession, and Layton trying to attack with Amelia Smith. Nice clearance from Lone Peak. Here comes the Knights. Ball filtered through. Putman off her line well. Collects for Layton, and now Layton trying to clear as a foul's called. It's against Lone Peak. And so the Knights called for a foul. It's going to be Lancer ball with 18:40 left to go. Still deadlocked at 0-0. And Layton will look to play that ball, floating one in off the header of a Knight defender and into the hands of Eliza Collings safely. Collings will boot it up and out. That ball lands at McBride. McBride, who doesn't get the best of touches on it, and now it's Lone Peak on the attack. Here come the Knights. That ball played through, the shot from Devi. And unfortunate there from Bella Devi, as she just can't keep it on frame. It goes up and out for the goal kick.
Layton substitutions, number 11, Kaylee Wilson. Number 18, Briley Davenport.
That ball played out. Off the goal kick from Putman. And here come the Lancers up the sideline. It's Jersey Clapier with an opportunity for Layton. Looking to get around her defender. Nice poke out there by the Lone Peak Knights. Still Clapier in possession. Handball, it will be called. Off the hand of Bryn Beck. And so a free kick called. Layton with an opportunity to put it on frame. 4 on the wall for Lone Peak. Eliza Collings setting up her wall on the near post. 2 standing over the ball for Layton. We'll see who takes the fake, the shot. Collings forced into a big save. And Eliza Collings coming up big for the Lone Peak Knights, as it looked like that shot came in from Clapier. And Eliza Collings coming up big for the number 2 in the RPI.
Quincy Knutson.
Substitutions coming up again as Knutson checks in.
Haley Van Hook.
The cross into the box near post. Holge's there, but cleared out by Lone Peak. Amelia Smith now in a foot race to try to keep it against Brooklyn Dowdle. Dowdle winning it back. Nice there from Corton to cut it out for the Knights. Throw in for Lone Peak. Carter brings it down. Carter looking for support. Has to play it back to Ruby Lee. Lee out wide to Brooklyn Dowdle. Dowdle with an opportunity here for the Knights. Dowdle cuts it back, plays it in. Back to Dowdle near the edge of the box. Dowdle looking for support. Tanuvasa out wide to Smith. And nicely cut out there by Kristen Moss. Throw in coming up for the Lancers. Ball played out by Layton. Ruby Lee in a foot race against Clapier. That ball will go all the way back to Collings, who will play it up the sideline looking for Smith. Out of bounds. Throw in coming up for Layton. The Lancers now growing into the game, having some more possession in the attacking third. And we'll see if they're able to capitalize on any one of these opportunities as Holge looking to turn. Back in the middle for Moss. Holge now with an opportunity into Amelia Smith, who wasn't expecting the pass and loses out possession for Layton. It's a foot race. And unfortunately, Brooklyn Dowdle just couldn't get on the end of it. Throw in once again coming up for Layton. Lancer throw. In the direction of Amelia Smith, but it looks like that was Kate Denny who got it out. Brooke Hendricks checking back in for the Knights. Substitution as well coming up for the Lancers as Kennedy Goderich checks back in. Throw in here for Knudsen. And Wilson getting on the end of it. That ball going in the direction of Davenport. Poked out by the Knights. Throw in coming up. Lone Peak gets a foot on it to clear. That ball saved by Hendricks. And now Brooke Hendricks brings it down to Fuller. Nice little bit of skill there from Hendricks on the pass. Intercepted now. Wilson coming the other way for Layton. Looking for Smith. Cleared out by Ruby Lee. Takes a bounce. Knudsen gets ahead on it. And now Knudsen intercepts. Tanuvasa out wide. Carter. Tanuvasa to Denny. Denny back in the direction of Lee. And now Smith gets around her player. Brooklyn Dowdle back to Smith on the wing. Nicely cut out by Kayla McBride, who comes across and intercepts well for the Lancers.
Substitution number 10, Samantha Sellers.
Sellers checking back in, this time for Carter.
Replacing number 6, Tessa Carter.
Throw in coming in as Smith for Denny. Kate Denny to Tanuvasa. Tanuvasa can play it out wide. She does. That's MJ Madsen who plays it into Hendricks. Hendricks will try it. Who can't put it on frame. Out of bounds and out for the goal kick. 11:20 left to go in the first. Still tied at 0-0 between the number 2 Lone Peak and the number 6 Layton Lancers. Both of these teams looking for an opportunity to play in the 6A state championship match on Friday. American Fork awaits their rival. Ball played in by Layton. Tanuvasa brings it down for the Knights. Back to Ruby Lee. Out wide to Smith. Here comes Smith for the Lone Peak Knights. Even wide now to Dowdle. Dowdle with the cross. Dangerous cross. That almost caught Putman, but it goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Substitution coming up once again for the Lone Peak Knights as Bella Devi checking in. Off comes Kate Denny for a breather.
Replacing number 8, Kate Denny.
Goal kick for the Lancers as they just boot it up, and Devi gets a header on it. Madsen now. One back by Davenport and the Lancers. Tanuvasa comes across well. Tried to keep it in bounds, but it goes out of bounds out for the Lancer throw-in. Here comes Layton on the attack. Looking to make something happen in the final third. Ruby Lee covers as that ball goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. This part of the match is brought to you by Heidemann and Associates. Heidemann and Associates is a flat rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the office nearest you. Ball back in play. Out wide to Smith. Smith tracks it down. Smith with an opportunity to Fuller. Nice move there from Fuller. Still Fuller showing off the skill. That ball played through. Devi can't poke it through. And here comes Brooklyn Dowdle for the Knights. The cross into the box, far post. Kate Fuller trying to get a head onto it, but unfortunately goes up and out over Fuller and out for the goal kick. But the Lone Peak Knights trying to find their opportunity for the breakthrough late in the first half. Booted away by the Lancers as that ball comes down, and now Smith in possession for Lone Peak. Given away, that's Goddenridge winning it back in the middle. Out wide to Smith. Here comes Amelia Smith. And now Devi comes across. Out of bounds and out for the Lone Peak throw. Smith coming up and will take the throw, waiting for support. Fuller trying to squeeze it through, but Wilson wins it back for Layton. Hendricks is there battling it out. Hendricks wins it back for Lone Peak. Hendricks out wide, looking for Sellers. Off the hand, but the referee says play on. Ruby Lee looking to float one over the top. McBride with a header to clear. Holge looking to bring it down now. It's now Godrich who will just play it out. Substitutions coming up for both sides as Kate Denny checks back in. Off comes Kate Fuller.
Number 8, Kate Denny. Into the Layton lineup, number 14.
Over on the far side, Molly Hunsaker.
Kayla McBride.
And Kristen Moss checking back in. That ball floated in. Brought down by Sellers, who hits it on the volley. And it goes out as she can't redirect it on frame. A good opportunity once again for the Lone Peak Knights, but Samantha Sellers can't put enough on the volley to put it on frame. Out of bounds and out for the Lancer throw. Ball floated over the top. It's now Godrich. Out wide to Davenport. The cross in, brought down and cleared by the Knights. Here comes Wilson. Wilson, who is pickpocketed by Hendricks. Tanuvasa can't control. And one back by the Knights. Given away, Lancer ball. And then Denny clears. Here comes Hendricks. Brooke Hendricks with a nice little bit of skill. Hendricks trying to win back possession out wide to Dowdle. Dowdle into the middle now for Devi. Devi has options. Layton coming back to collapse. Devi with an opportunity. Bella Devi still cuts it back and loses her footing. And now Layton can play it up with 5 minutes left. Trying to hit on a counter. It's Jersey Clapier losing out possession. As that was Beck who came across to clear. Throw in coming in once again for the Layton Lancers. 4:30 left to go here in the first half. It's now Wilson looking to float one in, but it'll just go safely into the hands of Eliza Collings. That ball played out. Won by Bella Devi. Looking to float one into Hendricks. Punted away by Putman. Tanuvasa gets a header on it. Out wide to Samantha Sellers, who can't control, and out for a Lancer throw. Substitution coming up for both sides as Kate Fuller gets ready to check back in, replacing Brooklyn Dowdle.
Kate Fuller.
Substitution as well on the Lancers side. That ball played in. And here comes Tanuvasa, who plays it out wide in the direction of Samantha Sellers. Sellers looking to play it towards the box. At the edge of the 18, Samantha Sellers losing out possession. Holgi just comes over and clears for Layton. Throw-in coming up for the Knights with 2:50 left to go in the first. Samantha Sellers trying to win it back for Lone Peak, but nicely covered out of bounds and out for the goal kick.
Layton substitution, number 18, Briley Davenport.
Briley Davenport checking in. Off comes Kaylee Wilson for the Lancers. Putman keeping it short to Hunsaker. Out of bounds once again. This time it's a Lone Peak Knight throw in with Kate Denny, who looks to play it in through to Hendricks. Hendricks brings it down on the end line, across the face of goal, and cleared out. But an offside flag raised. I know they'll say it's a goal kick. They'll say that that ball from Hendricks went over the end line, and so goal kick coming up for the Lancers as they look to relieve some of that pressure and find an opportunity with 1:40 left to go in the first half. Tanuvasa brings it down. Lone Peak on the attack once more. A crash between two Lancers. The officials stopped the clock just to check on. It looks like that's Jersey Clapier, who will be subbed out.
Layton substitution, number 48, Anna Ward.
Anna Ward checking in. And
replacing number 9, Jersey Claypier.
Unfortunate for Claypier, and for the Lancers, you don't want to see your top goal scorer limp out the field. And so we'll hope she's okay and she can get back into this one for Layton. Ball back in play as Smith will bring it down for Lone Peak. Devi back out wide to Smith. Smith keeping possession. Still battling out is Smith and Amelia Smith. And played out by Amelia Smith. And so now Islay Smith will play it in for Lone Peak. Led back by Layton, played up the pitch. Amelia Smith looking to get around her defender. Ruby Lee comes across and will throw it in. Lee settles for Bella Devi. Devi with an opportunity as in the top of the box, saved by Putman. Savannah Putman coming up big again for Layton as she makes the save as Bella Devi had the shot from about the top of the 18. After a nice little bit of footwork from Devi, and now Ruby Lee looking to play it out for Lone Peak. Madsen intercepted by Lancers, and they have an opportunity with 15 seconds left. Here comes Goodrich.
10,
out wide
9,
to Hunsaker.
8, 7,
Hunsaker
6,
wanting to whip
5,
one in, but nice
4,
defensive coverage from
3,
Devi.
2,
Holgi with the
1,
shot, takes a deflection,
0.
and Collings with the save. And that'll do it for the first half.
Lone Peak 0 and Layton 0.
We've reached the end of the first, and we're tied at 0-0 between the number 2 Lone Peak and the number 6 Layton Lancers. Good opportunities for both sides, but no team finding the breakthrough yet. And so we'll have everything to play for in the second half. We're going to take a quick step away here on the Rewind Sports Network, as always, presented by Heidemann Associates. Stick with us for second half action when we return. Into Zions Bank Stadium here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com, as always presented by Heidemann and Associates. We're getting ready to start the second half here at Zions Bank Stadium. We are tied at 0-0 between the number 2 Lone Peak and the number 6 Layton. Lone Peak has had some good opportunities to try to find the breakthrough, but so far haven't been able to put one into the back of the net. We'll see if that pressure continues from the Knights here in the second half. And we'll see if the Layton Lancers can find a little bit more in the attacking third. The good news is that it looks like number 9, the top goal scorer, Jersey Clapier, is back on the pitch for Layton. So good news for the Lancers. As once again we get ready to start the second half here at Zions Bank. The winner of this one will take on American Fork on Friday for the 6A crown. This second half is brought to you by Advanced Windows. Fall window sale, you get $2,000 off 10 windows or more. 6 months, 0% insurance financing is available for a limited time only. Call 801-850-910. Again, that's 801-850-910 for $2,000 off 10 windows or more. And the teams are ready to go, but we're waiting on the referees, as they were still taking their halftime break. And remember to stick with us here on the Rewind Sports Network as we have 5A semifinals coming up later. Those games scheduled for 3 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. kickoff here at Zions Bank. And we are underway here in the second half of the second game of the 6A semifinals between the Lone Peak Knights and the Layton Lancers. That one will trickle back into the hands of Putman and will be booted away by the senior goalkeeper. That ball brought down by the Knights. Here comes Denny, who will go all the way back to Bryn Beck. Out wide to Smith. Here comes Devi. Devi, who will switch it all the way across to MJ Madsen. Looking to float one in and into the hands of Putman, who does well coming off her line to collect. Tanuvasa gets ahead on it. And now Tanuvasa again trying to win it back for the Knights. She does. Nice little overhead kick, but no one there to collect. Lancers will now try to clear. Hunsaker out wide now. Tanuvasa does well defensively as that ball goes out of bounds and out for the throw-in. Again, in that first half, it was the Knights who had the better of opportunities. A couple shots that just went creeping up over the bar. Unfortunately, haven't been able to find the breakthrough yet for the Layton Lancers. They need to find a little bit more in the attacking third. As that ball filtered through, McBride comes across. And now Hendricks with an opportunity to cross it in and into the hands of Putman. Danger averted there from the Lancers. That ball booted out. It's a foot race now as Eliza Collings off her line to collect well. That ball played up the sideline and brought down by Sellers. Back to Madsen. Wilson trying to win it back for the Lancers in the middle of the park. Heavy tackle there on Kate Denny. Free kick coming up for Layton. It's going to be Kaylee Wilson to boot it up over the top and into the hands of Collings. And a big crash as Eliza Collings slow to get up on her feet. And will walk it off. Nice there from Collings to come off her line and collect. That ball takes a deflection, and McBride coming across to clear for Layton. Up now looking for Moss. Hunsaker can't keep that one in bounds, and it'll go out for a Lone Peak throw. Taken quickly as Samantha Sellers trying to get around her defender, but nicely covered there by Hunsaker as it goes out of bounds and out for another Knight throw-in. Samantha Sellers brings it down. The shot, and can't put it on frame. It'll go out for the goal kick now for Savannah Putman of the Layton Lancers. Booted away. And now here comes Moss looking to filter one through. Nice step from Ruby Lee to send that one out of bounds and out for the Lancer throw. Brought down by the Lancers and then cleared out by Lone Peak. Sellers gets a foot on it, looking for Hendricks. Here comes Clapier. And booted out of bounds and out. Throwing coming up for the Lancers over on the far side. Brought down. And now Tanuvasa coming the other way for Lone Peak. Here comes Fuller. Opportunity for a quick counter now for the Knights. Fuller has options. Fuller chased down by Gorton. And it'll just trickle through and peter out into the hands of Savannah Putman. Lone Peak having a good opportunity there on a quick counterattack. Ruby Lee, who doesn't get the best of touches on the ball, out of bounds and out for the throw. Here comes Moss. The shot hits the backside netting and out for the goal kick. Nice opportunity there for Layton. Trying to take a shot from just the outside of the top of the 18. But it goes on the other side of the net. Out of bounds now for a Lancer throw. As Alexa Corton here on the near side to take. Out of bounds and out for a Lone Peak throw. Denny will bring it down. And out of bounds. Off the boot of Kate Denny. Throwing out for the Lancers here on the near side. It's Knudsen. To take for Layton, looking in the direction of Amelia Smith. And it goes out of bounds and out. For an Eliza Collings goal kick. .32:30 left to go here in the second half. We're still deadlocked at 0-0. And that ball off the head of Denny and through. McBride comes across and clears, but a foul called back. And Lone Peak will get a free kick. Bryn Beck over the ball to take. She'll float one over the top. Looking for Danny. McBride comes across well with the header. Devy's still there. Cuts back. Looking across. Floated in and Putman off for line to cut out the service from Bella Devy. And Layton can clear their lines. Wilson in the middle of the park gets a head on it. Up to Clapier. And it will trickle all the way back to Eliza Collings, who will play it out. And that ball just goes out of bounds and out for a Lancer throw. Brought down by Moss. Played through to Clapier. The shot! It's a save from Collings! To deny Jersey Clapier, and the most clear opportunity that the Lancers have had so far in the second half, and Eliza Collings comes up big, the sophomore, making a nice save. State leading 14 shutouts for Eliza Collings. And now a set piece opportunity for the Lancers. That ball crossed into the box near post. Collings punches it out. Still Layton, and that ball saved by Holgi. Moss now can cross it in. She does. A header out by, punched out again by Collings. And Eliza Collings coming up big for Lone Peak once again. The save and 2 punches out of the air to deny any opportunity for the Lancers. Here comes Layton once again. Nicely battled out there by Kate Denny. And it goes out of bounds and out for the Lancer throw. Brought down by Amelia Smith. Smith supports herself. It's now Wilson in the middle of the park for Layton. That ball filtered through, but peters out for a goal kick. Substitutions coming up for the Knights.
Number 3, Brooklyn Dowdle.
Brooklyn Dowdle checks back in.
Bailey Zenter.
Zettner checking in. Off comes MJ Madsen as well as Samantha Sellers. Booted out by Eliza Collings. Denny gets a boot on it. Intercepted, one back by Layton. Tanuvasa comes across well defensively. Nice move there from Tanuvasa to win it back for Lone Peak. Out of bounds and out. It will be Lancer throw. Wilson to throw it in. Off the head of Holgi. And then here comes the Knights with Tanuvasa. Looking to filter one through to Dowdle. Dowdle gets on the end of it to Hendricks. Hendricks with an opportunity out wide to Fuller. Fuller floats one back in. Hendricks brings it down with their chest and cleared out, poked away by the Lancers. One back by Smith. Smith to Tanuvasa. Ruby Lee. Wide. Dowdle can't get a foot on it. Out of bounds and out for the Lancer throw. Nice build-up for Lone Peak, but unfortunately just Hendricks who couldn't bring it down and get the final touch on it. Nicely done defensively from Layton as Lone Peak wins the ball back. Wilson intercepts in the middle of the park, and now here comes Wilson. Wilson with an opportunity, but booted out by Bryn Beck. Here comes a foot race as McBride comes across and clears well. Brooklyn Dowdle couldn't get on the end of it. And Lone Peak with a good opportunity to get in behind, but nicely defended by McBride. Throw-in coming up for the Knights. Smith to take for Lone Peak on the far side. Ball played in. Knudsen comes across and gets a header on it to clear for Layton only momentarily as Smith battling it out with Goldridge. The shot from Smith floats through to the back post, but unfortunately goes out of bounds as the shot from distance from Smith. Looking to test Putman. Goal kick coming up for the Lancers. 26:50 left to go. And the clock is stopped as we got some substitutions coming up.
Into the lineup for Layton.
Ball back in play. Here comes Dowdle. Dowdle to Hendricks. Hendricks does a good job to keep possession for the Knights. And Dowdle will now play it out wide to Tanuvasa. Nice move there from Tanuvasa. She looks across it into the box, but it goes out of bounds and out for the goal kick. More substitutions coming up as the Lancers looking to change things up. 26:15 left to go here at Zions Bank. Still tied at 0-0. American Fork awaits their opponent in the 6A state championship match.
Amelia Smith.
McBride boots it away. Brought down and won back by the Lancers. Here comes Moss. Holgi gets it out wide to Davenport. Back into Moss. Jersey clap here, trying to get a foot on in that bar. That ball goes over the bar and out for the goal kick. Collings bails it quickly. And now here comes Zettner. As that ball floated through, Dowdle can get on the end of it. McBride coming across to clear defensively. Good idea, good build-up once again from the Knights. Dowdle couldn't get on the end of it, throwing coming up for Lone Peak. Hendricks turns, taking it into the box is Brooke Hendricks. Putman saves it from going out. Nope, it will go out. Corner kick coming up. Corner kick coming up for the Lone Peak Knights. More substitutions coming up for Layton. And a set piece opportunity coming up for the number 2 Knights. That ball whipped in, looking near post. Tanuvasa's there, tries to climb up for a header, takes a couple of deflections, and out by Layton. Nicely intercepted there by, or cut out by Layton, one back by Lone Peak. And Wilson brings it down. Fuller intercepts, and a foul called as Bryn Beck commits the foul, getting a little bit too much there of Kaylee Wilson. And a free kick coming up for Layton, an opportunity to relieve some of that pressure and try to find something in their attacking third. Ball floated away from Rin Jensen. McBride comes across, gets a boot on it. Holgi was looking for it there in the middle of the park, and now another foul called, once again called against the Lone Peak Knights. Ball played quickly. Here comes Holgi. And cut out by the Knights. Jensen chasing it down, but Hendricks will get to it first. Hendricks for the Knights, playing it into Tanuvasa. Tanuvasa back towards the middle. Has options. Plays it up the middle to Fuller. Fuller trying to cut it back. Tanuvasa still on the ball near the top of the 18. The cross into the box. And cleared out by Layton. Denny wins it back, and Kate Denny couldn't get around Holgi. Comes off of Holgi, out for the throw. Substitution for the Knights.
Lone Peak substitution, number 23, Ivy Hardy.
Ivy Hardy checking in. Off comes Bella Devi.
Replacing number 14.
Hardy brings
Bella
it down.
Devi.
Hardy still on the ball. Given away, Layton winning back. Here comes Jersey Clap here, and an opportunity to counterattack. Bryn Beck comes across and clears. Holgi. Out wide now. Here comes the Lancers. Opportunity for Layton as Jersey Clap here on the ball, trying to take it towards the corner. And a heavy touch from Jersey. That ball will go out of bounds and out. There is a Lancer slow to get back on her feet. Looks like that's Goldrich. And now Goldrich try to get a header on it, but here comes the Lancers. That's Jensen looking across it into the box. And we'll just leave it for a comfortable gather from Eliza Collings. Halfway through the first or second half. Still tied at 0-0. Holgi will bring it down. Nice from Davenport to get around her defender. Zettner wins it back. Davenport's there, and a foul called, this one against Layton. Free kick coming up for the Knights, taken quickly. Zettner in possession for Lone Peak. Back to Beck. Bryn Beck will go all the way back to Collings. Collings will just boot it away. Bounces over Tanuvasa. Now Fuller brings it down. Out wide to Harding. Harding to Fuller. Fuller will play it up. Fuller now still in possession. Will take it from distance off the crossbar and into the hands of Putman. Kate Fuller takes the shot from the top of the 18 off the crossbar and into the hands of Putman. Lone Peak just about as close as you can get without scoring.
Number 19.
Fuller with a huge opportunity.
Returning to the Lone Peak lineup is number 10, Samantha Sellers.
And now substitutions coming up for both
Also
sides.
into the Layton lineup, number 14, Molly Hunsaker.
Throw in coming up on the far side for the Layton Lancers. Looking in the direction of Amelia Smith. Out of bounds once again, this time for a Knights throw in. Now ball through to Sellers. Sellers in the direction of Harding. McBride comes across and just has to play it out. Throw in coming up once again for Lone Peak. Kate Denny on the far side to throw it in. In the middle of the park now for Tanuvasa, who has plenty of time and room. Playing it out wide to Zettner. In the middle now for Bella Devi. Devi will take it from distance. Can't put it on frame. Up and over and out for a Lancer throw. Or excuse me, goal kick. Jensen to take the goal kick for Layton. One back in the middle of the park by Lone Peak. And then Layton comes across and wins it back. Here comes Godridge. Against Brooklyn Dowdle. Ball played up. And now Dowdle once again in possession. And they'll say that the ball went out of bounds and out. So Lancer throwing coming up. Substitutions once again coming up for the Layton Lancers.
Layton substitution, number 16, Kelly Bollier.
Paul J checking back in. Lone Peak winning back. Here's Samantha Sellers. Has options with Harding. McBride does a good job to come across. Harding keeping the pressure to win it back high up the pitch. Will settle it. Support herself with Denny. Denny will switch it over to Zettner. Zettner with an opportunity now for the Knights as she looks to cross it into the box. Waiting for support now. Trying to get around her defender. Hunsaker doing well defensively as that one just goes out of bounds. And out for the goal kick. Goal kick coming up for the Layton Lancers. It's going to be Jensen to take. Substitution coming up as well.
Alexa Gordon.
As Gordon checks back in. Off comes Molly Hunsaker. Jensen to boot it away for Layton. Finds the head of Kate Denny, and now a ball floated through. Brooklyn Dowdle trying to bring it down, floats one in. McBride is there and clears it out for the Lancers. Out wide now as Ivy Harding will track it down, but she's offside. Free kick coming up for Layton. It's going to be Alexa Gordon to take. Zentner there with a header. Bryn Beck playing it up. Collier playing it to Wilson. Godridge out wide looking for Moss. Nice step from Zentner to cut it out. And now a battle as Harding gets a foot on it. Brought down, foul called. Much to the disappointment here of the Lone Peak faithful. But a foul nonetheless, as the Lancers will have an opportunity to play it out. Jensen comes across. She'll take for Layton. Jensen will boot it away. Looking to float one in, but nobody there but Smith to boot it away and clear it out. Up and over Zions Bank Stadium. That ball is out of the park. Throw-in coming up once again for Layton Lancers. It's going to be Moss to take here on the near side. Amelia Smith trying to get a header on it. Clapier will just try it. Godrich might be able to track it down. And it'll go out of bounds and out for the Knights throw-in. Substitutions coming up for Lone Peak as Kate Fuller, who had the shot that came crashing off the crossbar, checking back in. Taking a breather is Kate Denny. Throw-in coming up once again for the Knights. Throw-in coming up this time for the Layton Lancers. Tanuvasa will clear it out for Lone Peak. An awkward header there as Hollier trying to get on the end of it, out of bounds and out for a Lancer throw. With 12:45 left to go here in the second half, we're still deadlocked at 0-0. We'll see if either team can find the breakthrough before OT. The last time these two teams faced off, Lone Peak got a 4-0 win. And this time, no score, although Lone Peak has had some good opportunities, including the one from Kate Fuller that came crashing off the crossbar. Godridge losing out possession. Throw-in coming up for the Knights. Smith throws it in, looking for Devi. Devi loses the ball. One back by the Layton Lancers. Tanuvasa comes across to cut it out well. And here comes an opportunity as that ball's floated through to Samantha Sellers. Sellers with an opportunity as she looks to play it in. Cut back and brought down. Goal kick coming up. Samantha Sellers thought that ball came off of the defender. They're appealing for the corner. Out of bounds and out for the goal kick. Brooklyn Dowdle will head to the bench for the breather. Has Kate Denny checking back in. Davenport who checks in for the Lancers. Goal kick out by Layton. Jensen who just boots it away. Ruby Lee gets a header on it. Tanuvasa brings it down. Intercepted, one back by Layton. Devi gets a foot on it. Here comes Hollier. Hollier Nice defensive read there from Ruby Lee to make sure that that ball did not get through to Smith. And now here comes Fuller for the Knights. Kate Fuller out wide to Sellers. Sellers near the top of the 18. Has options. Jensen with nice defensive coverage. Still Samantha Sellers. Waiting for an opportunity to cross it into the box. She now has it. The cross coming far post. Harding has to track it down. Brings it down near the top of the 18. The shot hits the outside netting and out for the goal kick. Ivy Harding trying to pick out that bottom corner. Puts it wide.
Number 14, Molly Hunsaker.
Substitutions coming up once again for the Lancers. And a goal kick coming up for Layton. Holye out wide to Davenport. Smith back up the sideline to Davenport. Ruby Lee comes across to cut it out. Davenport will play it back up and out for a Knights throw.
Lone Peak substitution number 13, Brooke Hendrick.
Hendricks checking back in. Off comes Samantha Sellers for the Lone Peak Knights. Tanuvasa. That ball out once again for a Lancer throw, or excuse me, a Knight throw. And now here comes Devi. Bella Devi with an opportunity. McBride comes across well to clear. Zettner bringing it down as trying to connect with Denny. Holye wins it back. McBride to clear for Layton. Tanuvasa. It's going to be Bella Devi is going to be called for the high elbow. Free kick coming up for the Layton Lancers. Once again, much to the disappointment of the Lone Peak faithful that are here at Zions Bank Stadium. Another elbow, this time against Layton. And we got a Lone Peak player down after the play. I believe that is Kate Fuller, who is down after the play. And so while she gets a look at from the trainers here at Zions Bank Stadium, we'll take a quick step away on the Rewind Sports Network. And welcome back into Zions Bank Stadium. The good news is that Kate Fuller is back up now for Lone Peak. And the Knights trying to build an attack here with Bella Devi near the edge of the box. Looking for support. Harding now trying to play across in, back with the back heel to Devi near the top of the 18. The shot hits the other side of the net, barely snuck past Savannah Putman. Out of bounds and out for another goal kick.
Ryan Jensen. And number 21, Kennedy
Good opportunity for Lone Peak once again to try to take the lead, but unfortunately hits the side netting. And now Layton looking to play it up and out. That ball goes out of bounds and out for the Lone Peak throw. Zentner playing it to Kate Denny. Denny trying to get a boot on it. Nicely intercepted there by Moss. No one there to collect, and out for a Knights throw-in. Brought down by Lone Peak. Hendricks trying to get around Gorton. It's now Bella Devi. Looking to switch it across. Tanuvasa steps up well. It's now Tanuvasa. Will forward it through to Harding with the shot, and he hits the post and out. Another shot for the Knights that hits the woodwork. And Lone Peak again so close to finding that breakthrough, but it hits the post and goes out. And the Lancers trying to hold on through increased pressure from the Knights. Hendricks almost cuts that one out. Here comes Moss, who plays one through, looking for Holye. And Callings off for line to collect. Five minutes left to go here at Zions Bank Stadium. We're still tied at 0-0. That's two for the Lone Peak that have come crashing off the woodwork. And it's now an opportunity here for Clapier to get across. But nice defensive read from Bryn Beck. Knights in possession. Gudson. Holye. Clapier. Tanuvasa cuts it out. Lone Peak in possession with Harding. Tanuvasa trying to play it back to Harding. Intercepted, one back by the Lancers. Holye playing it out wide to Godred. And a foul called, this one against Lone Peak. And a good opportunity for the Layton Lancers to try to find something off the free kick. 4 minutes left. The winner of this one will take on American Fork in the next round in the championship game. Still waiting to see who that opponent will be as the Lancers take the free kick. Wilson floats one in, and it'll go out of bounds and out for the goal kick.
Layton substitution number 4.
Substitution coming up for the Lancers. As Lone Peak gets set for the goal kick. Callings will play it out. Boats it away. Moss trying to cut it out. Zentner now looking to support herself with Bryn Beck, and Beck just has to clear it out. Lancer throw-in. Coming up for Alexa Gorton. Ruby Lee will play it out for Lone Peak, only to find the feet of Clapier. Here comes a ball for Holye. Just couldn't get there. And now McBride plays it out to Jensen. Cut out by Harding. And an opportunity for a quick counter from the Knights. Here comes Harding. Looking to float one in towards Bella Devi, but it'll just trickle through and die at the hands of Savannah Putman. Lone Peak trying to hit on the counterattack. And now maybe Layton can build an attack of their own as that ball goes out of bounds and out for the Lancer throw. Brought down. Here comes Holye. Clapier trying to settle it back to Holye, but Holye wasn't making the run. Lancers booting it up. Brought down, one back by Lone Peak. Nice little poke there from Wilson as that ball one back by the Knights. Denny looking for support. That ball gets out wide. It's now Hendricks in a foot race against Corton. Hendricks wins it out, and Hendricks with an opportunity to cut it back, and Corton comes up big defensively. Still Hendricks against McBride. Cross off of McBride. And a corner kick coming up for the Lone Peak Knights with 1:13 left to go.
Lone Peak substitution, number 3, Brooklyn Dowdy.
This could be one of the last opportunities for the Knights to try to find the breakthrough. Under a minute now, corner coming in. Bella Devi will cross into the box, far post. The header, it's in! It's a goal for the Knights! Lone Peak find the breakthrough with 49 seconds left. The number 2 take the lead. I believe it came off a Layton defender. But nonetheless, it will stand as Lone Peak take the lead with 49 seconds left. Can the Lancers respond? The Knights now have 1 foot into the 6A state championship game. And we'll see who the officials credit the goal to. Layton now have 49 seconds to try to find the equalizer. Not much time left on the clock as we are underway once again. That ball out to Clapier. Everybody behind the ball for Lone Peak. Played out by Bryn Beck. Throw-in coming up. 30 seconds left. That ball out of bounds again. Lone Peak to throw it in. Bryn Beck will boot it away. Intercepted by the Lancers. And now Ruby Lee will come across and just get a foot on it. Throw in once more for the Layton Lancers with 10 seconds left. This is the last chance. This is the last opportunity for Layton. That ball played through, cleared out. 2 seconds left, and that'll do it! It's going to be the Lone Peak Knights, the number 2 in the RPI, who find the breakthrough with 49 seconds left on the clock. And now they will face American Fork in the 6A state championship game on Friday at America First Field.
Congratulations to Layton on participating in the state semifinals.
Heartbreak for the Lancers as they held on strong defensively for 79 minutes. A corner kick with 50 seconds left is the difference in this 6A semifinal matchup. Remember that here on KSLSports.com, we'll have 5A semifinals coming up. It's going to be Bountiful taking on Brighton here at 3 o'clock. So stick with us on the Rewind Sports Network for more girls soccer action. But that's going to do it for us here on the 6A coverage. Up next, 5A semifinals. From Vince Francis on the camera, I'm Alex Napolis, and from the entire Rewind Sports family, we thank you for watching. We'll be back